The best machine is one that has yet to be built. Enzo Ferrari. Nothing is more Italian than a bright red Ferrari. Nothing says sporty and luxurious more than Ferrari. A car suits the red carpet of high society events and car rallies. Anyone who ever got a chance to drive a Ferrari swears they've never experienced anything like before. High speed, swiftness, a deafening roar of the engine. Ferrari is today's greatest source of adrenaline and serotonin. But how did it all begin? Humble beginnings. It all started with a dream of a young boy who desperately wanted to become a race car driver. His father owned a metalworking workshop that built bridges and roofs for the state's railways. 8 years old, Enzo attended a car race at the Bologna circuit and instantly fell in love. At the age of 12, Enzo first sat behind the wheel and made the decision to dedicate his entire life to becoming a racer. However, World War I interrupted his plans. In 1916, young Enzo enrolled in the Italian army. During his service, Enzo met the famous military pilot Francis Baracca. The decorated Italian pilot used the prancing horse symbol on his aircraft. After returning from war, Enzo served at Fiat until landing a gig at Alfa Romeo as a driver. In 1923, Enzo won his first Savio circuit race in Ravenna and met Baracca's parents, Count Enrico and Countess Paolina. The Countess said, "Ferrari, why don't you put my son's prancing horse on your cars? It'll bring you good luck." Enzo later added, "The horse was and will always be black, and I added the canary yellow background, the color of the city of Modena." The legendary symbol took almost 10 years to appear on a Scuderia Ferrari car in 1932 at the Spa 24-hour race. It did indeed bring him luck. His team won the race. The logo was later seen on the first ever Ferrari, the 125S, and has adorned every car since. War struggles. Enzo has built a prestigious racing team with over 40 drivers in merely 5 years. The group was called Scuderia Ferrari and served as a valuable division of Alfa Romeo. Shortly after founding Scuderia Ferrari, Enzo became head of Alfa Corse, but he still had a higher calling. In 1939, Enzo left Alfa Corse and founded his own company, Autoavio Costruzioni. The new business's launch slowed Ferrari's racing career as Enzo focused on making cars fit for the track and consumers. Autoavio Costruzioni produced flawless 815 8-cylinder cars with a displacement of 1500 cubic centimeters, brand new for that time. Building top-notch racing cars was going well until World War II broke out. Autoavio Costruzioni moved its operations from Modena to Maranello in 1943 to avoid bombing. During the war, Ferrari was ordered to produce cars for Mussolini's fascist government, which slowed Ferrari's production efforts. At the war's end, the company had to endure several raids by American and British aircraft. Ferrari is born. Despite the challenges, the enterprise underwent reconstruction, established car production, and in 1947 the iconic Ferrari that we all know today was officially born. A year later, Ferrari produced the first non-racing model, the Gran Turismo. Unlike its ancestors, this model had a roof, windows, heaters, and leather upholstery, traditional Italian elegance. These cars were then shipped to distributors in batches of 10 or fewer. When the car finally got to the owner decided on the paint color, upholstery, and exterior trim. This meant each car was unique. The production was maintained that way until Fiat took over Ferrari. Worth noting that Ferrari is still about meticulous attention to detail and craftsmanship. Each Ferrari car is hand-built with precision and care, and it takes approximately 400 hours to manufacture a single Ferrari vehicle. Also, the iconic exhaust sound you hear every time Ferrari passes is not mere luck. Ferrari engineers carefully designed the exhaust system to achieve the signature Ferrari engine note. factors such as the length and diameter of the exhaust pipes and the arrangement of mufflers and resonators are meticulously calibrated to enhance the engine's sound. Meanwhile, in 1949, Ferrari scored its first significant racing victory on the track. Luigi Cinetti came first in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The following year, Ferrari competed in the Formula One World Championship. Success continued to smile on Ferrari racing cars, and in 1951, the team won first place in the Grand Prix. Ferrari cars continued to dominate racing throughout the 1950s, and Enzo eventually decided that building and selling sport cars was the best way to fund his racing efforts. Many competitors have tried their luck to buy Ferrari out. One such company was the Ford Motor Company, which offered Enzo Ferrari around $18 million in 1963. After a lengthy negotiation, Enzo rejected the offer. From 1962 to 1964, the company produced the Ferrari 250 GTO, one of the world's most valuable and sought-after cars. Only 39 units were ever built, and they are highly prized by collectors. In 2018, one model of this motor gem was sold for a record-breaking $70 million. 1966 Ferrari Dino was launched and became one of the brand's most popular models ever. Dino, named after Enzo's son, was an early attempt to offer an affordable sports car that would appeal to the masses. Popularity grows. The brand had developed a cult-like following due to its inclusion in events like the Mille Miglia and Le Mans. To obtain admission to the Great Tourism Series, Ferrari had to ensure a minimum production of 500 vehicles. Ferrari agreed with the Fiat concern to fulfill this condition. Under this agreement, it was obliged to supply the concern with engine drawings. The company also ensured the production of the required number of cars. So in 1969, Enzo Ferrari sold half of the company to the Fiat Group to gain additional capital and meet growing consumer demand. In 1973, Ferrari launched the Dino 308 GT4, the company's first mid-engine V8 production car. It featured a 2+2 seating arrangement and departed from Ferrari's traditional front-engine layout. The same year, Ferrari established Scuderia Ferrari Spa, a separate division dedicated to Formula One racing. The team achieved significant success during this period, winning multiple championships with drivers like Niki Lauda and Jody Scheckter. The Ferrari 308 GTB, introduced in 1975, became one of the most recognizable Ferrari models ever. It gained further popularity when featured as Tom Selleck's car in the television series Magnum P.I. Enzo passes away. By 1988, Fiat Group owned 90% of the company's shares. Enzo reserved the right to manage independently and retained this right until his death. The iconic and much admired Ferrari F40 was the last model to receive Enzo's approval. This mid-engine, rear-wheel drive sports car was produced between the late 1980s to early 90s. The F40 was the successor to the 288 GTO and was designed and built to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary. Only 400 cars were produced, and each unit sold for around $400,000. After Enzo passed away, the shareholders relished the struggling company, appointing Luca di Montezemolo as chairman in 1991. My cars have a soul. Before Luca took over, the company only had 2 models with 2 most uncomfortable seats ever, according to Luca. He began a grand restructure. By the mid-1990s, instead of 2 original models, Ferrari introduced 9. It gave buyers a wider choice, with a cheaper Ferrari 355 being the best seller. Luca brought back seats, a front engine, and a dozen or more colors rather than the standard Ferrari red, opposing the Ferrari tradition. By the way, have you ever wondered why Ferrari cars are usually painted in vibrant red? Legend has it that Enzo Ferrari believed red was the fastest color because it made the car more aerodynamic. Believe it or not, this legend has somewhat scientific proof. The rainbow colors, or the colors of light, travel at different speeds. They get bent by different amounts and come out all spread out instead of mixed up. Violet travels the slowest, so it's on the bottom, and red travels the fastest. So it's on the top. Does it mean red adds to the speed? Judge yourself. When the company celebrated 50 years, Ferrari released a limited edition model, the F50. Only 349 were produced, and the supercar sold for nearly $700,000 apiece. Although the price tag was staggering, car enthusiasts found it fair, as the vehicle could reach 62 miles per hour in just 3.7 seconds and max out at a top speed of just over 200 mph. Luca's transformation of Ferrari eventually paid off by 1997, as the company boasted some pre-tax profits. In the 2000s, right after their success in Formula One, Ferrari's road cars reached a new level of respect. A Ferrari F4030 took off, followed by a superb front-engined 599 with a screaming V12. Ferrari also introduced many new models to its lineup, the Ferrari California and the Ferrari FF, both of which received rave reviews from fans and critics alike. Just when Ferrari was at its summit, it raised the bar again. In 2002, the Italian concern began producing the Ferrari Enzo model, Europe's most potent production supercar. It was created and named after the genius designer and founder to recall the role of Ferrari's leading design school in racing development. This two-seater sports car had a 12-cylinder engine, reaching 62 mph in 3.5 seconds, with a top speed of 217 miles per hour. The luxurious vehicle boasted the characteristics of a Formula One moto. It had a streamlined body and narrow interior, and the doors open upwards. For 3 years, 399 cars of this model were produced. The company sold them only to the most notable customers by prior request. The last Ferrari Enzo supercar was donated to the Vatican. Although the Pope never drove the vehicle, he signed the car to commemorate the occasion. It was sold to Sotheby's for $1.1 million at an auction, and all proceeds went to charity. Modern years. After 23 years at the helm, Luca Cordero di Montezemolo stepped down as head of the company. The Ferrari 458, released in 2010, is considered by many to be one of the most excellent cars of all time. In 2014, Ferrari's parent company, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, announced plans to spin off its luxury Ferrari brand from its core business, with the primary goal of turning Ferrari into an independent brand. Ferrari NV went public in 2015. While much of the world has moved towards smarter hybrid cars, there is still a massive call for luxury vehicles. In 2016, the Italian brand had a record-high sales year, with Ferrari manufacturing over 8,000 vehicles. The company keeps much of its financial information private, but this is the brand's highest annual number of cars. Notably, Ferrari is no stranger to experiments. The Ferrari LaFerrari, introduced in 2013, was the company's first hybrid car. It featured a combination of a V12 engine and an electric motor, producing a total power output of 950 horsepower. LaFerrari accelerates from 0 to 60 mph in under 3 seconds, with a top speed of over 217 mph. Ferrari remains the oldest and most successful team competing in the Formula One. Ferrari has won 16 Constructors' Championships and 15 Drivers' Championships, making them the most successful team in history. Their drivers included some of the most iconic names in motorsport, such as Michael Schumacher, Niki Lauda, and Sebastian Vettel. The success of Ferrari has made them one of the world's most recognizable and beloved teams. Today, Ferrari is more than just a car manufacturer. It has created a lifestyle brand beyond the automotive realm. The company licenses its brand for various products, including clothing, accessories, and even theme parks. Ferrari World Abu Dhabi, the world's first Ferrari-branded theme park, offers thrilling rides and attractions for those who cannot afford a Ferrari ride but want to boost that adrenaline and serotonin level everyone's talking about. What should be the next topic for our video? Let us know in the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe to never miss our exciting content.